if you want to go from this to this with very simple steps, then please keep on watching. How to go from day to night Christmas edition makeup look. If you know that your makeup needs to last through whole day and evening, then you need to make sure that your foundation and everything that you put first is going to last as long as possible. Because if that doesn't work, then it's just better to wipe off your whole face and redo your makeup. Don't forget to start with primer. I have here Essence Jelly Grip Hydrating Primer just because I really like it. Even though that it's very affordable, it really does its job and it doesn't dry out my skin. Also, I'm choosing the foundation that is going to last the longest. This is Yeti Red Cushion Foundation. Even though that right now it may be a little bit too dark for me. So I'm putting it on my foundation brush. And I'm just really making sure that it's buffed into my skin. So that it's not just lying on top, but I really want to push it into my skin so that it's going to last me as long as possible. Please don't forget to write in the comments down below what type of video would you like to see from me next, because that can really help me and also you. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, then please do so. It doesn't cost you anything, I promise. Don't forget your neck. Now I need my concealer, of course. I'm gonna use Forever Skin Correct Dio Concealer. Again, if you want your concealer to really last you as long as possible, don't blend it in completely right away. Just tap it on and leave it be so that it can do its job. I'm going to mix in the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer because it's a little bit lighter. So again, I'm just buffing it in, pushing it in, but not blending completely. And just let it be like that for half a minute. Meanwhile, I'm gonna apply eyeshadow primer. This is from Rare Beauty. And just buff it in. And then I'm just gonna apply a little bit more of that lighter concealer because that foundation is just slightly darker. And also this is a way to contour without contouring. Should we contour and do all that? We can, yeah? We are not talking about really quickly done makeup look here. I'm using bronzing cushion stick from Catrice. I'm placing it on the back of my hand and then buff it into the brush and on my skin. I'm not using too much. I don't like to be too dark in the winter time. On my neck, so that my face doesn't look darker than my neck. So you can really see that I'm using such a small amount of contour. This is not blended yet, don't you worry. It's not going to look like that. Oh no. Like, I'm not usually clumsy, but when I'm in a rush, I hope that you're enjoying my Vlogmas. It's a completely different format for me and I'm being super nervous to share a little bit more about my life. You know, it can be daunting trying to do Vlogmas if you have never done that before, especially if you don't have the right equipment and your vlogs are not looking professional. But if you haven't watched them yet, then please do so. It would mean so much to me. Okay, I just need to contour a tiny bit my nose. So I've already done that a little bit by just placing that contour on my nose. But now I'm gonna use concealer. While this on my nose is drying down, I'm gonna do my brows. This is my go-to brow product. This is from L'Oréal Paris. It's micro brow pencil in the shade blonde. And I'm out of it. Do I have... Oh. Like, I have other brow products, but in Ljubljana in my apartment. So I would say that for a daytime, you don't need a lot on your brows. I would just apply the tiniest bit of product just so that you're a little bit more put together. But if you need to draw in your brows, then you need to, you know. Here you have a choice. You can use brow gel, but that's it. You cannot like apply it more later on because they are going to be crispy. Or for daytime, you just leave it like that, and then for an evening you apply brow gel. I would do that personally, but it all depends on you. Now I can blend out the concealer on my nose, also underneath my eyes. I need to use powder to set my eyelids. I have hooded eyes, oily eyelids. I cannot do it otherwise. And also just around my nose, but I'm not gonna set my under eyes because later on, if I need to add a little bit more of concealer, I can do that. So in the evening, otherwise, if I set it with my powder, it's done. It's going to look very cakey if I apply some more on top of that. So there's the choices. I mean, you can always just wipe off your face and redo it one more time and do it one more time. But I would do it like that. So I can afford to do that because I have dry skin. Also, if you have like normal to dry skin, if you get oily on T-zone, then you should at least powder that. But if you're super oily, you cannot avoid powdering your face. In the Christmas spirit, I'm gonna use red blush. This is creamy blush from Nabla, but it's very long wearing. It's not dewy, so it's going to last me a long time. Also because I haven't powdered that part of my face, I can later on just apply some more. For eyes, I would for sure use liquid eyeshadow that you know that it's going to stay once you put it in the place and it's not going to move around. So the one that I have here is from Lisa Eldridge and it's in the shade Iron. This is a cool toned one, so I've chosen this kind of a shade because I think it's going to transfer really well into the evening look. So I'm just swiping it onto my crease, you know, just to kind of sculpt my eyes, especially because I have hooded eyes. I need my crease to be a little bit darker, and I'm gonna really keep it light. So I'm just gonna apply more shimmery pearly shade. This is Cressida, also from Lisa Eldridge. I mean, you can use whatever light pearly eyeshadow you have. I'm gonna admit this is not the most long wearing eyeshadow, but I really like it. I think it's perfect for Christmas time, and also I know my next steps for an evening look. So before I apply mascara, I'm gonna use setting spray so that this face can stay as long as possible. As I've mentioned so many times. So this is from Urban Decay All Nighter Extra Glow. You can use mattifying setting spray or just like a normal one. I like my skin to glow a little bit because otherwise it's so dry. While this is drying, I'm gonna do my lips. More natural like lip liner. So something that I'm not gonna need to worry about throughout the day because it's neutral, it's easy to reapply if I need to. And then sparkly lip gloss from Fenty Beauty in the shade Champ Stamp Fantasy. Again, perfect for Christmas time. Something very wearable, easy to reapply, and something that is going to hydrate my lips throughout the day so that they are not going to be all dried up at the evening. So now that my setting spray dried, I can apply mascara. I would use one that you can rely on the most. So I really like this one from MAC, Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. I know this one is not going to crumble, it's not going to smudge on me, and I can get volume and length from it. So it's perfect. And I'm gonna apply this mascara only on my top lashes for a daytime look. Okay, so basically the daytime Christmassy festive makeup look is done. This is how it looks. And now let's move on to an evening look. For me, this would be the easiest way to create a little bit more darker, more glammy look if you want to. So first of all, I need to add a little bit of jewelry. If you want now for your makeup to transform to an evening, more glam, sophisticated look, then keep on watching. I know this is a given, but you can skip any of these steps. You don't need to apply them all because, you know, I want just to show you the best that I can, but of course maybe you don't have enough time or you don't have all the products, so just apply what you can and skip the steps that you cannot or, you know, don't want to use. So now I would reapply blush, and let's imagine that I have less blush on right now. So I would just reapply it. Then really powder your face because you don't want to be shiny in the evening. It's more visible. Also, you want your makeup to really last you even longer. And if you're gonna dance, if you're gonna, you know, have a lovely time, you're going to sweat probably, so just make sure that everything is locked in. And especially if you're gonna top that face with other products that are powdered, you want to powder first. For example, I'm gonna use a little bit more of bronzer. Of course, you don't need to do that. You can skip some of these steps. But for an evening look, I would just add a tiny bit of color back to my face because in the evening you can look very pale, especially in the winter time. And it's going to give you a little bit more of sculpt as well. Bronzer is on. Now, of course, highlighter. I mean, in the evening, highlighter works the best because it catches the lights and it looks just so pretty and glam. So I would... And you know, it really doesn't take you so much time to apply it. So I would just go all in for an evening look. I love this highlighter. Now I would use brow gel to fix the brows. Here you can add some more brow product if you want to. You can make them darker for an evening look if you want to. But personally, I just like to make them look a little bit more put together. And the brow gel is going to do that, and it's going to lock them in that place. So they're not going to move, even if you're planning to dance around, sweat and all that. Now, what can we do with eyes? Of course, you don't need to do anything, but I'm not going to repeat myself now. From here on, that's a given, you know. You can use some type of glitters on top. Even if you're not going to do anything else from here on, this is going to really elevate your look. Wouldn't you agree? It looks just gorgeous. Alright, I wouldn't be myself if I wouldn't put some type of or eyeshadow or eyeliner with this look. For this purpose, I'm gonna use eyeliner, but only to frame my eyes. I really went into the inner corner because even this makes a whole lot of a difference. Now, this is all you can do and it's going to look fabulous, or you can do a flick, maybe a tiny flick. Here you can add a little bit more mascara if you want to. Personally, I don't like to do that if it's not necessary because it just clumps my eyelashes together. I would, if you have enough time, use a tiny bit of falsies in the outer corners, if anything. Should we do that? So you can achieve a fuller looking eyelashes without adding mascara on top. That's a great tip. I really like these Lilac Street eyelashes. They sended to me a lot of different shapes and sizes of these falsies, and I really like that they are made for underneath the eyelashes because you cannot see the strip on top. I mean, you know, you need a little bit of getting used to. And always in the evening I like to frame my eyes, so I'm gonna use a little bit of dark eyeshadow. I'm gonna use this one, just swiping it across my under eye just to frame my eyes a little bit more. And then I would use mascara on my bottom eyelashes as well. I don't know, I just think that eyes looks bigger and a little bit more done, if you know what I mean. Also, you could use that bronzer on the crease, so everything is going to tie in a little bit more. You're going to see that change immediately. Now, for the end, it all depends on your preferences. The lips could stay like that and it would look gorgeous. You could go full in and go in with red lips as well. I'm not sure if that's too much. Like, for me personally, it would be a little bit too much. So I'm thinking right now, what should I do? Because I don't want makeup to look cheap. I would just go in with a darker lip liner. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I like that better. With red lips, it would be just way too much. If my eyes are a little bit more done, I would say that from the makeup look that I showed you before, so the daytime makeup look, you could go either way. You could do your eyes, or you could leave eyes as they were and then go in with the red lips. Both ways would look gorgeous and really beautiful. Don't forget at the end to use again setting spray, because everything is going to melt together, so all the layers, and it's going to look way more natural and not so heavy. Also, it's going to prolong the wear of your makeup. That's a finished look. Makeup. I hope you enjoyed this transformation, this makeup tutorial. If you did, then please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, click the bell button next to it so you can be notified when I upload, and you can always donate a small amount by clicking thanks button down below. Also, check out my Vlogmas playlist. It's more personal, it's more raw, it's not so done up. So yeah, have a lovely day and see you in my next video. Bye.